The second opportunity that we missed out was that at a trade show, that a business owner came to our booth and looked at our product. He really likes the thing we have done, actually done by my colleague. Okay. So he took us to his company for a tour, and then he told the engineering manager, say, let these guys do the development. They are working on the development project, a new phase. So he said, want us to do it. So, and then we went back. The second day, I called him. He wanted us to give him a quote. Okay. So I called him and I said, Mr. So-and-so, I'm sorry, we cannot provide you the quote. He said, why? I said, it's going to cost us time. Okay. If you really want us to quote you, we can do that, but we have to charge you. And then he said, are you going to charge me for quoting me? We said, yes. I said, how much? I said, 3 days. He said, you're going to quote me, charge me 3 days for quoting me? We said, yes. And then there was a brief silence, okay, on over other end of the phone, okay. And then finally he said, okay, go ahead, charge me and quote me. You see, he really wanted us to do the job, okay, but we end up not doing it, okay. We didn't even provide them a quote because we insist we want to be a product company, okay. Again, that's a mistake we made. Now I want to make a brief comment about the product versus service company. A lot of people want to start business as a product company, okay. I think there's a good window of opportunity to start a product company if there's a paradigm shift or there's a new technology developed, like right now the internet, there's a lot of opportunities, okay. In the time when we started, when the PC gets popular, okay, those are the time. However, you can get into the business, but if you want to stay the business in the long haul, that's a totally different skill set, okay. So a lot of people get in and then that they end up folded a few years later. On the service side of the business, actually it's easier to get in. You can always start a business as a service provider because your skill set is going to be needed. Okay, so you can do that. However, you can start with a service business. Doesn't mean you have to end up with a service business because the product concept will continue to evolve when you start working. So you will come up with a new product concept. So you can become a product company if you want to. But a service type of company is easier to get into to start with. Now, get to the next phase of the rise. That we had a good run of 9 years of growth. I think Irv shared our good time there. We had an average growth of about 61% over 9 years. What we learned is that if you do your work, opportunities gonna knock on your door. It's not if, they will, okay, and they will come many times. Like in the first phase, we missed several opportunities, right? But they keep coming back, okay. So you just need to recognize it and know your stuff, and then deliver what you promised, okay. The first opportunity that I want to go over with you is the adaptive control. There's this single loop controller manufacturer. They plan to release a new product, okay, with adaptive control capability. And then they contract that job to a university professor, okay. A year into the business, a year into development, they couldn't get it delivered, okay. So the VP engineer was getting so desperate, so he called us, okay. And adaptive control was one of the subjects I learned in my master program, actually in my master thesis. So when I joined ControlSoft, we developed a similar software, for adaptive control. And then through the field test, I realized this algorithm has a flaw. It doesn't really work, okay? So we spent a lot of time and revised, and finally we come up with a different solution and then solve it. So when the VP engineer called, I said, yes, I understand the problem you have. I understand the approach you're taking, and then this is the reason you're not, this is not going to work, So he was very happy. So we entered an agreement, and that, and then we hired a 3-case student, part-time student, helped me to do the coding, testing and everything, okay. Then we got a product delivered in 2 months, and he was very thrilled, okay. He said that, thank you for saving my job, okay. So we get it done, and up to this point, we're still getting the royalty payment from them, 20 years later. We're still doing that. The second opportunity that I want to go over is the temperature control application. Again, this is a major PLC manufacturer that they have a project to deliver a temperature control for a Ford Motor Company. Okay. And then they found out their solution would generate the overshoot, which is the specification requires them to have no overshoot. So again, the director of the development was in a very dire situation, so he called us. So went over to take a look of the product. So I found out that they are doing the PID tuning. So I told him, I said, you have done the best PID tuning job you can do. I don't think you can improve anything further, okay? The reason you are having overshoot is because of the process, the nature of the process. And you're not going to change that, okay? And so you cannot achieve the specification. It's overspec, okay? He said, well, what do? I can't deliver. So I said, well, if you really want to get rid of that overshoot, we can help you to devise a different control solution, okay? If that's one, it's going to cost you. He said, do whatever you want, okay? Do whatever you can, help me on that. So we end up designing called the TCM, the control strategy, and then and then be able to satisfy the specification, use a different control scheme at a different stage. That's what we did. So he was very happy again. So from there on, they start to contract us from all the major development, also the process control related solution. So our relationship started to grow with them, and also there are other opportunities also coming along, and then our company continued to grow. Then, the good time lasts about 9 years. Then there comes the setback. What happened here is that after this relationship with them, we took on a real big development job with them, a joint development. Okay, now it is a function block-based process control programming software. Okay, it's a much bigger task than our team can handle. But actually, we've done a very good job. We delivered the product, it works great and everything. Okay, but what happened is that when we went in and sold the product, with this PLC company to a major process company, and this account was belonged to the leading process control company. Okay, and they found there's a threat here. So this company turned around and then talked to this PLC company and strike a deal with them because of their market presence. Okay, so they struck a deal with this PLC company. I think their underlying goal was to kick us out of this space. Okay, and they succeeded. Okay, now so even though we have done everything right, a very good product, but then we got kicked out of the marketplace. And the PLC company did compensate us for some. But at the time, I knew we were in real trouble, okay, because we had invested all of our resources on this product, and this account represents 75% of our revenue. Okay, so I was desperate.